Oh, my God. Anyway, Mr. Quigley, if you want to say something, you ought to be able to say it. I mean, this place has become, this town is becoming a place where if there's any disagreement with the king who lives on 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, then we silence you. You cannot have an opinion. You're accused of being part of Trump derangement syndrome. You know what that sounds like? The people who say that, sounds like they're part of a cult. And I mean, this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. The idea that we have some ICE agents who have ended up committing essentially human rights abuses against American citizens. American citizens, people with passports, are being picked up and detained. I mean, they're not even. Their status is they're U.S. citizens, and somehow we're going to explain that away, and everything is great. And if you raise any questions, about that somehow you have Trump derangement syndrome. I mean, read the polls, by the way. The American people are sick of this crap. They really are. But if you want to respond, Mr. Quigley, you want to finish your comment, you can have this time.
I think it's dangerous to tell people that if they have concerns with how law enforcement conducts its activities, they aren't for safe communities and they don't support the police. But it's difficult to listen to President Trump talk about law enforcement when he pardoned the insurrectionist. When 5 police officers died, over 100 additional officers were injured, and you and I were in the room where it happened. It's also difficult to listen to this and not get the balanced picture. We're trying to help law enforcement across the country be able to do its job well. In the bill we passed last week, one of my earmarks was 1,000 bulletproof vests for Chicago police officers. This is the second time we've done that. So if you're going to talk about insulting comments, you got to have some degree of empathy and understand where that person has been. So those of us in Chicago who care about safe communities appreciate and respect that there's a balance to all this, because we've seen the extremes on both sides. So you can support the brave men and women who keep us safe, who kept us safe on January 6th. I'm not sure we'd be here or whether our fragile little experiment in democracy would be here. But I appreciate getting the chance to set that straight.
I just want to say for the record, I support all of your amendments. Ms. Titus, I don't think people should be taxed on money that they don't earn. Mr. Larson, I agree with you, on the need to ensure privacy, especially with regard to Social Security data, and people who violate that privacy ought to be held to account. We ought to not be okay with that. Mr. Smucker, what you're proposing sounds reasonable to me. You ought to be able to bring it to the floor, and we ought to have a debate. And Ms. Stansbury, I agree with a number of the amendments that you offered, as well as Ms. Johnson. I mean, not only regarding ICE, but with regard to making sure that we all live up to our responsibility. It is amazing to me how difficult it is to get people in this place to actually vote to say that if, in fact, you want to go to war, you need to come to Congress and get an authorization for the use of military force. I mean, it's pretty clear in the Constitution. If you take a basic U.S. government history class, it basically tells you that that's Congress's responsibility. But and if you favor, by the way, sending troops to defend oil fields in Venezuela, then vote for it. If you don't, you vote no. If you support invading Greenland, you can vote for it. If you don't, you vote no. That's controversial, that we can't even do that. I mean, the fear that the guy in the White House has kind of instilled here, I mean, we become like potted plants. And here's the deal. This place should be a place where, we debate important issues. And unfortunately, what's happening is this place is becoming an institution where we debate trivial issues passionately and important ones not at all. We can disagree. That's fine. Let's allow amendments on our appropriation bills, and let's have it out on the floor. But I appreciate you all being here, and whether I agree with people or not, I do believe that people deserve to be respected when they come here, and I do believe that you can you can respect somebody who has a different opinion. And so, any event, I hope all your amendments are made in order. I yield back.